So it has been sent.
Hopefully.
Yeah. सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमतः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. Is the voice audible to you? Okay. I think I'll hold this in my hand because. Huh? That won't. Nothing will be seen here. You know. I think only one is required.
Oh, okay.
One is required. Take this.
Okay.
That's not. So, the topic for today's evening is success through Karma Yoga. This word success is a very coveted word. Who doesn't want success? Everybody desires success. But what goes generally speaking, what goes by the name of success in today's world and even in the past is what? That we should have wealth, name, fame, power, prosperity, position, status, whatnot. So all these material things, generally speaking, goes by the name of success. If we have them, then in the worldly parlance, we are supposed to be very successful. See, we have to examine whether this is right or not. We don't say that this is not success. To be wealthy, to be well known, to have prosperity, all this is very good, and it is not easy. It's not easy to get all this. So they are definitely something which one can have and one should have to some extent. But one thing we cannot equate, that the desire behind being successful is to be happy. The desire behind wanting to be successful is to be happy, to have peace of mind. This is what everybody wants. But we have to examine today that can we guarantee that when I will be having wealth, limitless wealth, as well as name, fame, whatever, all this which we want, will they guarantee me happiness? Can we equate all this wealth, name, fame, power, position? Sorry, 1 second. Can we guarantee this with happiness? Perhaps not. It has been seen that, not that we also cannot say that having this means unhappiness. That also cannot be said. But it has been examined, and if we today give a thought and examine all the experiences and all our achievements, all our accomplishments in life, then we will find that we have worked very hard for all these things, but at the same time, we cannot say that having them means happiness forever. These are not the things which will give us happiness and peace of mind forever. There is not a single object in the world which we can say that this is happiness. Yes, all these things definitely give comfort. We can equate all these things which we just mentioned. Definitely they bring us comforts, they do bring us facilities, and all that is required in life. We cannot say that they are not required. We do need wealth, we require position, we know all this is required for the comfort, for the progress in life, for helping others, for our education, food, clothing, shelter, etc. All these things are definitely required. But we cannot say that having this itself means that I have acquired happiness and peace of mind and adequacy, total satisfaction with this. Because we often see that a thing which we covet at one point of time, we work very hard to acquire it. We pay a heavy price for that in terms of our time, energy. So a very big investment is done by us. But after certain time, we find that it doesn't remain that source of happiness as it was in the beginning. It does give us momentary happiness. It may give us happiness for some time. It may make us feel that I have achieved everything for some time. But very soon, now we want something else. Now our mind is taken up by different things. So that which I wanted, badly wanted, and wanted to possess it at a given time, sooner or later gives up its attraction and fascination which I had in the beginning. It becomes one of the things in my life. It loses the kind of attraction that it had in the beginning. And now I look for something else, then for something else, then for something else. This looking for something else which will satisfy me doesn't come to an end. And a thing which I wanted once upon a time has now become a necessity, and I can't do without that. So not that This wealth, name, fame, prosperity, position, power, all these things, we are not deriding them or criticizing them, but from time to time we have to really examine and see whether they have innately what we are seeking from them. We are seeking what? Total satisfaction, total adequacy. In fact, we are seeking limitlessness from it, from all this, but that doesn't come. Otherwise all millionaires, billionaires and all well-known people would be happy forever. But that is not found to be. That doesn't mean those things are wrong. They have their own place. And they do give us something. As I said, they do give us comforts, facilities, and what we need to live our life. So they cater to the needs of the body, needs of the mind, needs of our intellect, but they cannot touch the need of what? What I am really seeking is what? Because we'll discuss this. The innate and the inherent nature of the self is what? Adequacy, happiness, which I don't know today, which I don't know that I am that. I'm ignorant of the fact that the self is already full, and we are seeking that. We are seeking that limitlessness in this limited object. In all the achievements that the life can offer are all fraught with some or the other limitations. This we have to see. Each and every accomplishment, each and every achievements, if we examine them squarely, look from every side, as it is said by Mundak Upanishad, Pariksha Lokan. When you do pariksha, paritaha ikshanam, which means when you see from all the sides, threadbare, then you will find that it doesn't quite have what I am seeking from it. What I am seeking is limitlessness, and if it had, then it should make me contented once and for all. I have got it, I have wealth, finished. Now I have got it. I have got all the happiness in the world. But that doesn't happen. Very soon, now you want something more. Very soon you get tired of it. Precisely because that thing is limited. That thing is inert. And so, it is not its fault that it cannot confer us what we seek. What we seek is what? We want to feel pleased forever, happy forever, 24/7. We want that happiness, which really has no beginning, no end, which is complete, totally, in every aspect, whereas there is no such object in the world which is of this nature. It has that object, that thing has come in time and will pass away in time. In Karika, Mandukya Karika, we will see all this. It is very clearly said, Adavante cha yan nasti vartamanepi tat tatha, which means what? That which is not there in the beginning, Ado, that which is not there in the end, Karikakara says, that is not there actually in the actually in the present also. Vartamanepi tat tatha. That which is not there in the beginning, not there in the end, is not even in the present when you think that it is there. When you think that it is there and I am enjoying, at that time also it is just a show. It is not there. I'll give you some examples. It's not that we are saying this. This is the teachings of the Shastra. Lord Krishna himself, Lord Krishna says what? Yehi samsparshaja bhogaha dukkha yonaya evate adyantavanta kaunteya na teshu ramate buddha. Lord Krishna says, O Arjuna, that happiness which is born by the contact of the sense organs and the sense objects, that which appears to come in that manner, has a beginning and an end. And in reality, it is dukkha yonaya, which means it is nothing but a womb of misery. That's what he says. Why? Because adyantavantaha, it has beginning and end. When it was not there, understand this, we don't have to swallow anything. We have to understand everything. See, we understand this very clearly. We are not criticizing anything, but we have to understand the nature of the things which we call success. We have to understand the nature of those things. Maybe we are deluded, maybe we are misguided. So, as Lord Krishna says, Adyantavantaha Kaunteya, hey Kaunteya, these things are fraught with beginning and end. It was not there in the beginning and will not remain after a certain time. It won't remain with me after a certain time. Quite possible that it is there and I will go away. Na teshu ramate buddha. Lord Krishna says, wise people, wise men do not revel in this. They do not revel in this. Means they do not run after these things. To give you another example, because we don't just want to brainwash our minds or tell our minds that there is no happiness outside. We don't want to do that. Let us examine. Let us examine squarely and see what they can give us and what they cannot give us. Both should be known. These things definitely have a use. Cell phone definitely does have a use. All these things are useful. But useful to what? Where are they useful? And where they cannot serve the purpose? And how much they can give? Where is the full stop coming there? All this should be clearly understood. So, let me give you another example from Chandogya Upanishad. In Chandogya Upanishad, a very famous student, Naradji, famous person, not student, famous person called Naradji. Everybody has heard about him. This Naradji, a very great scholar and a person possessed of not one or two, possessed of expertise and knowledge of one or two fields or faculties. He was possessed of the knowledge of 64 different branches of knowledge. Such a Naradji, understand, such a person goes to Sanat Kumara. Sanat Kumara, the four brothers, sons of Brahmaji, and in scriptures they are very well known as wise man. They are only like children, but they are supposed to be wise. And Naradji goes to them and says, Soham Bhagavan Shochami. He says, Bhagavan, such as I am, the one possessed of all this knowledges, but still I am grieving. But still Shochami, I am grieving. I am not happy with myself. There is vacuum inside. Who was he? Was he a successful person or not? All PhDs, not in one or two fields. Music and dance and astrology and astronomy, everything. He knew everything. So, you will agree with me that he was a very, very successful person. The success which we know, the success with which we are familiar, the success which if we have, we call ourselves successful. So even he had more than us, but still he is grieving and goes to them and says, I have heard that wise man crossed the ocean of grief. Tarati shokam atmavid. Wise people cross grief. Who cross grief? Atmavid. Those who know the self, possess the knowledge of the self, they cross the grief. And I am grieving. And I can see that you are wise. So please tell me, teach me. Naradji then asked, Sanat Kumara then asked him, you please tell me what all you know. Then he gave the whole list. And Sanat Kumara is saying, all this is not capable of removing your grief. These degrees are fine, but your core, the core of your personality is still, there is still void there. It is still empty. And so, every so often, the grief overwhelms you, takes over you. When you achieve something, temporarily you do feel good. But if it was to be there forever, then unhappiness or emptiness should not arise again. But it does arise, which means what? That thing has not been successful in fulfilling me. It has not been successful in filling up the void inside. And then what Sanat Kumara said? He said, there is only one source of success, the success, which is called the success. And what is that? Bhuma tu eva sukham. He says Bhuman. Bhuman means Atma. Bhuman means Brahman. Bhuman means Ishvara. He says this is Bhuma tu eva sukham. This is the only source of happiness. Nalpe sukham asti. There is no sukha, no happiness. He goes to the extent of saying that. He says there is not even an iota of happiness in things which are limited. Nalpe sukham asti. In alpa, in things which are limited. Limited means what? Everything that has a beginning, that has an end, that is limited in scope, time, space, objectivity, all that is limited. Everything which can be objectified, which is outside of us, all this is limited. And there is no sukha in that. To be very frank, even whatever little we seem to get from the objects of the world is really coming from the self, is really coming from the self, the real source, the real and the only source of joy is Atma. Raso vai saha. Atma is of the nature of rasa. Rasa means ananda. And what kind of ananda? It is an ocean filled with joy, if we can use this kind of simile. So the success, material success which we get in the world is not really success. It is success, definitely, but as I said, you cannot equate material wealth with what? Limitless happiness. You cannot equate. You can certainly equate this kind of wealth, material wealth, with comforts, definitely. You do have comforts, you do have facilities, everything, and that is also needed. There are two kinds of needs, understand. Need of the body, need of the mind, that is body-mind complex, it has one kind of need, and the need of the self is another. The need of the self is another. Need of the subject is another. Objects of the world, which goes by the name of wealth, power, prosperity, and all kinds of gadgets and what not, they can give comfort to the object here, the body here, the intellect here, the mind here, but they cannot enter what? The subject. And so, we should know this very well. As I said in the beginning, and I repeat again, this is not to criticize and devalue what the world can offer. But at the same time, don't expect from a thing what it doesn't have. Don't expect from a thing that which it doesn't have. It is like expecting, oil from sand. There is a sand before me, that is there before me, and I expect to get oil from that. It's impossible. So, this we should understand, and then Bhagavad Gita and our scriptures talk about a different kind of success. So, we saw this. We have seen we have so far analyzed the material success. Now we will talk about Bhagavad Gita and scriptures. They talk about another kind of success. And our subject is success through Karma Yoga. So with reference to Bhagavad Gita, we will be talking. But as you know very well, that Bhagavad Gita is nothing but what? Nothing but many Upanishads put together. Because Lord Krishna has Sarvopanishado Gavaha, Dogdha Gopala Nandanaha. All the Upanishads are compared to cow. And Lord Krishna, he milked the cow, the teachings of all the Upanishads, and gave us in the form of Bhagavad Gita. Why I am saying this is to show you that Bhagavad Gita has the same knowledge of the Upanishads. Whatever is there in the Upanishads is there in Bhagavad Gita, because the source is the Upanishads. In fact, Lord Krishna has taken from all the Upanishads and given us in the form of Amritam, in the form of Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna talks of two kinds of success. Or rather, we will say that he talks of two stages of success. Success can be attained in two stages. So the ultimate success is what? That I find limitless happiness here itself. Because that is the desire and the basic aspiration of every heart. Is it right or not? That we all seek to be complete, to be happy, and my happiness should never be disturbed. It may, this is my desire, it may be fulfilled or not is a different matter, but this is the desire of every heart. Each and every heart, each and every being wants this only. So, how to get this? Where is this success found? That is the subject matter of Bhagavad Gita. That is the primary teaching of Bhagavad Gita. But this success is not that easy to gain. Inasmuch as this success, limitless success or happiness which everybody is seeking, is right in the heart, right in the self. It is never and never away from us. How ironical it sounds, you know, that what I am seeking is myself. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? That Swamini ji, you mean to say that I am already successful? I am already the happiness and peace, limitless adequacy, contentment which I am seeking? Yes. Yes, it is what it is. It is right, but because of ignorance, we don't know this. We don't know this. This fact about us, we don't know. And even when it is told to us, revealed to us, even then we don't find it. Scriptures say, Tattvamasi, you are that. We have heard it many times. Why don't we find it in ourselves? Scripture says, you are that. That means what? You are what you are seeking. You are already that. But I don't find it in myself. Why? What is the reason? Because today, even though, understand this very well, even though according to the Shastra, and Shastras are pramanam, valid source of knowledge, just as for color, this is a pink color. To know that this is the pink color, my eyes are pramana. My eyes are the valid source of knowing this. Is it right or not? Similarly, ears cannot say that this is pink. Can ears say? Can sense of smell say that? Can the senses of taste, can it say that? No. Only and only eyes are pramana for color. And similarly, as far as the truth is concerned, as far as where the real happiness is contained, who is the pramana? What is the valid source of knowledge? Shastra, Upanishads, Shruti, they are pramana. Valid source of knowledge. And what do they say? They say that you are already full, Atma. Yourself is already full and complete. Satchit Anandaha, you are here and now at this moment of the nature of happiness, fullness. We don't find it. We remain what we are. Next moment, we are seeking something. Why? Why does this happen? So you understand my point? Even though I am happiness, I don't find it. It doesn't mean anything to me. I still remain incomplete as ever. I still need love and warmth and security and support of all kinds from the world. So, there is a big obstacle which doesn't allow, understand, which doesn't allow the happiness of the self to express, to manifest. So, the ultimate success of life is to know that I am happiness. That is the success. Understood? What is the first level of success? That I am happiness. To know this and to abide in this, to own up this is the success, the ultimate success. But we require a mind to understand this, to grasp this tall knowledge, this tall fact that I am happiness I can't accept today. I can't find it within me. So, Lord Krishna says that this knowledge requires a prepared mind. You follow what I am saying? This knowledge calls for preparation of mind. Only because mind is the medium where the knowledge of the self will take place. Just as, I'll give you an example. If I want to see my face, I want to see my face. Where do I go to see my face? What is the medium for seeing that? Mirror or any bright shining surface will be the medium for that. It will reflect my face. Similarly, so just as the mirror is the medium where my face can be seen, but when will that mirror reflect me? When it is clean, very well scrubbed, no dust on it. Then if it is totally clean, then it can, in of the proper size and curvature, then it will reflect my face. Similarly, understand, to know the self, I require a mind which is very pure, which is mature, which is transparent, which is, in short, full of divine qualities. Follow? The mind has to be pure, antakarana shuddhi. Mind has to be placid, pure, transparent, nirmala, plus sharp and focused. Only such a means sattvika. Only such a mind, this is very important, only in such a mind can knowledge of the self take place. Not in any other minds, however hard you may try. Unless and until the mind is pure, you may know all the grammar, you may know everything, all the philosophies, you may know Sanskrit, you may know language, everything you may know, but the medium through which the knowledge has to pass, knowledge is to be absorbed, grasped, retained. If that mind is not pure, you will hear and the words will go. Words will come right in the ears. You may enjoy also. Good, very good. You enjoy all this. but it won't stick there. It won't remain unless and until the mind is ready. So, what will be the first level of success to gain such a mind? You understand? First level of success will be to gain this mind so that we attain the second level, second and ultimate level of success. What is that? Knowledge of the self. Is it clear? Knowledge of the self, which is equivalent to happiness, because self is all happy, all peaceful, all contentment. In fact, self is one without a second. It is pervading the entire creation. It is ekam eva advitiyam. There is no other thing. This is the truth. I am that, not away from me. Imagine that one who takes one's today to be a woman, man, limited. I am nobody. The person, the jiva, the individual who takes himself to be just limited to this body is in fact what? Everywhere, everything, plus all happiness, all peace, all contentment. This is the nature. Can you believe that? This is our real identity is this. They tell us, no, that I will give you a profile, biodata. This is the biodata. What? I am Satchidananda. I am full and complete. We laugh, when they say, we can't believe all this. This is all mere talk. Why? Because we are so far removed from this. So far removed from this fact that it is difficult to believe and more difficult to accept and own up and abide in this. Why? Because the mind is not ready. The mind has not become as large, as pure, as divine as Atma. The medium has to be in keeping with the image. You follow what I am saying? So, what is the ultimate success? Atma, knowledge of Atma. But what will be necessary for gaining that? A pure mind, mature mind, ready mind. So, truly speaking, the first level of success is to gain such a mind. Understood? The first level of success will be to gain a mature, pure, transparent, sattvic mind, through which we will be able to grow to the second level of success. Understood? So, success is one, but gained in two stages. Is this clear? The first level of the success is the self, happiness, limitlessness. But that can be gained only and only when the mind is pure, mature, not without, there is no entry into the self, which is my nature, which is my reality. Mine means everybody's. There is no entry into that without a pure mind. Just as Hanumanji says, Tulsidas ji says, Rama duware tumai rakhware, ho tana agnya binu paisare. Without Hanumanji's permission, nobody can enter inside nobody can enter to meet him. Similarly, without a pure mind, compassionate mind, sattvic mind, the second level of success cannot be ever attained. Understood? So, how to make the mind pure? How to do that? See, it is not easy. Don't think, oh, I'll make the mind, I'll purify my mind. That is the biggest job. In fact, when the mind is pure, 90% of the work is done. When the antakarana is shuddha, then 90%, understand, 90% of the work is done, then only 10% remains. And that comes when you listen to the Upanishads. And you just absorb, and you find that happiness. Your mind becomes like a sponge. The sponge, if it is there, it just absorbs whatever liquid that is there. It will absorb. Similar, this mind, pure mind. And we will talk about that. What is the meaning of the pure mind? Is must. This mind is must. Lord Rama says, in Sundarkand, in Ramcharitmanas, he says that Nirmala mana jana mohi bhava, mohi chala chitra kapatana bhava. I don't like those who has chala and chitra and raga and dvesha and kama and krodha and swartha. All this is where in heart which is filled with this, I don't like. Nirmala mana, one whose mind is pure, that I like. This he says when Vibhishana comes, When Vibhishana comes to meet him, the other people of his party, Sugriva, etc., they tell Rama, we should not meet him. He belongs to the enemy's party, and in fact is the brother of Ravana. He has come to know he is a spy. Don't talk to him. Don't believe him. Rama says no. He has come. He is bowing down to me and he looks pure. So I will accept. Even if he is a spy, let him know whatever he wants to know. Let him know. I don't care. But I love him. Just imagine. So this is just symbolic, Similarly, this knowledge of the self, Atma, Brahman, for that, which is the first step? First step is purifying the mind. And here, we have to, and what is the means to do that? Lord Krishna gives us the means to attain such a mind. Amazing. It is there in the scriptures everywhere. But problem is, in Upanishads, this is there. This knowledge is contained. But Upanishads being what they are, they talk only to the students who are ready. Uttama Adhikari. Upanishads address the students who are all mature. Those who have given up everything and gone to the forest and are there before the teacher listening to them. So they are all ready, means their minds are already pure. But Gita, Bhagavad Gita, talks to whom? Talks to mainly the hero. Who is there? Arjuna. And who is Arjuna? Like us, representative of us. We are like Arjuna. He also has to fight the battlefield and finding problems with that. We are also in the battlefield called life. Life is a battlefield. And you are supposed to be acting properly, taking right decisions. So whatever, and Arjuna is not ready, he also wants the knowledge. He has declared. What did he declare? Now I don't want to fight. Having come to fight, imagine. Arjuna has come to fight. And then, when he saw the army on both the sides, he was all enthused, all enthused to fight. The spirit was there. He asked Lord Krishna, Sena yoho ubayoho madhye ratham sthapaya mechyuta. Oh Achyuta, please place my chariot in between, in the midst of the two armies. Why? So that I can inspect them. I can see who all have taken his side, which general is standing where, so that I can also decide my strategy. All this shows what? That Arjuna is ready to fight. But then suddenly what happened? When the chariot is placed in between the two armies, the family person came out. The warrior went away. Then the warrior Arjuna went away. And who took over? Brother, student of Dronacharya, son of Bhishma Pita. All this means, which means he became emotional. He is relating to the army as if it is a family. Here there are all enemies. Plus, they all have taken the side of adharma. They are all doing wrong things. And what is the kartavya, duty of a warrior, kshatriya? What is the duty? To protect dharma, to vouchsafe for dharma, to stand for righteousness. That is the duty of a warrior, primarily speaking. And here Arjuna is doing what? I don't want to fight. I cannot kill them. Let them take away everything. Without fighting, I am ready to give them everything. Duryodhan was to have everything. And he almost sat down. Visrujya shasharam chapam shoka samvigna manasaha. Giving up his bow and arrow, he sat down. He sank down in his chariot. And then what did he say? I will not fight. But he knew that he was doing something wrong. He was doing something wrong. And so he then talks to Lord Krishna. He said, see clearly, Arjuna now says, I am not interested in kingdom. Na kangshe vijayam Krishna, na cha rajyam bhoga sukhani cha. I am not interested in all this. Then why did you come? Why did you come to fight the battle? He came, but now things have changed. He says, I am not interested. Why? Then, actually what is happening, at that moment of his life, this is not a simple moment in his life, very, very critical moment. Arjuna is facing a very critical moment of his life, but at that time, he is examining his life. He got time, and he came into the mood, suddenly came into the mood of examining his life seriously for the first time. We don't see, it applies to us also. We don't examine our life. Why have I come here for? What am I doing? What am I getting? Day by day, things are, day by day, one day, another day, third day, like that life is going away. What have I achieved? What am I doing? One day I will also die like others. We see others going, but nothing happens to us. But today, Arjuna is questioning his life. What have I gained so far? He's asking himself. The thought process of Arjuna took a different direction, altogether a different direction. And then, exactly as we discussed, he is questioning the success that he has attained so far. Arjuna was a successful man. Everybody was afraid of. There was no warrior like him. He was very famous. Nobody had that guts to stand before him. His bow and arrow were just, he had no knowledge of that. So successful, very famous. But today he feels, I have not attained anything so far. So far my life has gone in vain. He says that. What did I achieve? What all I have achieved so far is not ever going to remove the grief which I am going through. And he says in so many words, that even if I get the kingdom, even if Pandavas win the kingdom and become the kings and they rule Hastinapur and India, Bharatavarsha, but then also he says, I don't see how the grief which I am feeling will go away, will ever go away. Which means what? Which means what? That no matter what success I achieve in the world outside, you follow what I am saying? No matter what success I achieve in the world outside will suffice me, will be an answer to the grief which I feel inside. Do you understand? It won't suffice, it won't be an answer to what I am going through, no matter what I get. No matter what I get. So in a moment, he could see the limitations. He could see the flimsiness, the limitations of what the so-called objects and happiness and success of the world can give. You follow what I am saying? What the world can give: name, fame, power, position, prosperity. They will not remove the void that is here. He could see this. And so, now, what did he ask for? He asked for knowledge. He said, now, O Lord Krishna, oh, you are my teacher. I surrender unto you. And you please teach me. Teach me about what? About what? That which is definitely good. That which is definitely good. See, the things, the success that we find in the world is not definitely good. It is good now, gives happiness now, goes away tomorrow. It's there, gives me little now, but may not be there tomorrow. But now you tell me the secret of that which is Nishchitam Shreyah. Nishchitam Shreyah. So you understood? Arjuna also recognized this. And so Lord Krishna was very happy. He gave him the knowledge. He gave him the knowledge of the success. Gave him the knowledge of the Atma. Arjuna was given that knowledge of the self, which is all full and everything. But then Lord Krishna didn't stop there. Having told him about the nature of the self, then he began immediately. What did he say, you know? O Arjuna, karmani evate adhikaraha. To Arjuna, Lord Krishna is saying, you have right only in action. Are you all with me? Yes. Having revealed the nature of the self, which is equivalent to the success, our first level of success, or rather the success, the second one, the ultimate success. Having told him that, now Arjuna is being told what? You do action. You are eligible, you have right only in action. Which means what? Why was Arjuna told this? Arjuna didn't like it. Arjuna didn't like it. He says that if knowledge of the self is the goal of life and it is the ultimate success, then why are you asking me to perform action? I don't need it. He didn't like it. He says, why should I perform action? Why should I fight? I will sit and study, do meditation on Atma and find that success. Which success? Limitlessness is right here. I will do that. But Lord Krishna, in unequivocal words, clear words, what did he tell Arjuna? You fight. Karmani evate adhika. Get up and fight. You have a right only in action, which means you should fight. Arjuna didn't like it. He opposed. He said in the beginning of the 3rd chapter that according to you, Lord Krishna, knowledge is important and it is the goal of life. Then why for me this action? Am I not your bhakta? Don't you love me? To me, on one hand you praise knowledge, and to me you tell me what? This you do action. It is like telling someone, that the best car is Mercedes. And I have it also, but what will you take this small one, which is the smallest one? For you, this small one. Then the question, why should to me also you give that? You are praising Mercedes and giving me this one? Why? Why? Because, what did I say earlier? That the knowledge of the self, the nature of the Atma being full is the success, the ultimate success. But when can it be gained? When the heart is ready. And Arjuna had to become ready. Arjuna was not ready. The first level of success had to be attained. Which success? The purity of the heart had to be gained. Then only you can rise here. So success has 2 stages. Purity of heart, antakarana shuddhi, and then the knowledge of the self. And so, Lord Krishna said, no, you first, through karma yoga, we'll talk about this, you first attain this first level of success. Which success? Maturity of heart. Then you will be eligible for the second one. And this is the first siddhi. Siddhis have 2 levels. Which is the first siddhi? Siddhim vindati manavaha. Lord Krishna says in 18th chapter that by karma yoga, we will talk of this. Human beings attain first siddhi and then rise to the second one. And how to gain this? Through karma yoga, we have to gain this. See, understand that maturity is not something, purity of heart is not something which comes automatically. If it is there, you have gained it from your past lives. If you have a good disposition, if you are a sattvic person, pure person, understand that you have gained that treasure from the past births. If you don't have it, then you have to work for it. We grow, physically we grow. To become physically adult, we don't have to do anything. Do we have to do anything? Does a young boy has to do anything to grow his moustache? It happens. In the nature takes course of that. But tell me, if maturity comes on its own, maturity, shuddhi, doesn't happen on its own. That is why we very often find in life that people may have reached the age of 80, 85, but they still behave like Children doesn't, sometimes they say, the old age all this happens. No. Maturity is lacking. Maturity is not there. And understand that child is there within all of us. That child is there. We have to make it adult. It won't happen on its own. So maturity has to be gained. And that is to be done by karma yoga. And that will be success. That will be the first level or stage of success. Understood? How to do that? how to do that. See, mere karma, action we all are performing of some or the other type. Action is something which pervades our life. From the morning we get up to the time we sleep, action is there in our life. Some or the other actions we are doing, everyone according to their duties. But that doesn't mature us. Just because we are working, doing action, doesn't mean it matures us. In fact, day by day, we may even become worst. Quite possible. Life requires lot of thinking. Life calls for serious thinking and change. We have to change, bring about a change in our svabhava, in our dispositions. We have to do that. It doesn't happen. There are no chamatkaras, no miracles. We have to do it. And that is exactly what Karma Yoga teaches. Karma Yoga teaches this. Karma is a big thing. But just because we do karma doesn't mean that we will change. With karma, understand, listen carefully. With karma, we have to bring an attitude. With karma, we have to join an attitude. And that is called yoga. Karma with a certain attitude is called yoga. Not mere karma. Understand this. Not mere karma, that from morning to evening I keep working and that becomes karma yoga. No. Karma done with a certain attitude. And what is that attitude? Attitude of worship. Attitude of offering. In other words, attitude of helping. How I can be helpful to others. We will talk about this tomorrow. That will be the main topic tomorrow. That how karma will help us change. We can even, you can say that by thinking from tomorrow I have decided to change myself. I need not do karma for that. No, that's not possible. Today we require the prop of karma. Just as you know, when we do mala, japa mala, why should we take mala? You can, without mala also, you can take Bhagwan's name, can you not? Some people do that, yogis can do that. Constantly 24/7 they are doing Bhagwan's, taking Bhagwan's, but everybody cannot do that. We require mala. That one bead has passed, then Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Another bead, Shri Ram Jai Ram. So that when it stops, I remember, my mind has gone elsewhere. So this mala becomes a support, becomes a prop for my mind to remain in tune with Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Similarly, karma becomes a medium through which, what I have to do? Through which I have to change my attitude. Watch my attitude and change it. Which attitude I have to bring? The attitude of offering. Why we will see this? Because today what is blocking us is our selfishness, our ego, minus, I and mine. My life is confined today only to I and mine. Who I am important, my wife and my children, a little more, little bit. But just this much is important. We are oblivious to others, to nature, to other beings, to other people. I don't care. All these are big blockages, which stops the Atma from manifesting. Then there is desire, passion and anger and greed and jealousy and competition and arrogance. All this becomes a big blocks. So how to remove? They just don't go away. Oh, please go. Anger, please go. Who is going to listen? They will not go like that. You have to work for it. You have to work. How do we work? In my action throughout the day, throughout the life, in those actions, while performing those actions, I bring an attitude. Which attitude? Yoga, offering, giving, keeping ego behind and keeping others in front. In my life today, I am in front. Everywhere I. No. Now who will come? Others. So my life from self-centeredness, it should go to what? Other-centeredness. Today my life, when I perform anything, I comes first. What will I get? How much will I get? How will I be benefited? Then only I plunge. Otherwise I keep away. We always see our benefit. See, all this is the tendency of the mind. We have to work with it. And each one is to be removed. And what is to be brought in? Others. Other means what? Ishvara. So now onwards, by karma, I will be living a life of offering. And that is success through karma yoga. With success, purity of mind. So we will elaborate upon this tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you. We'll meet again tomorrow at the same time, 6 to 7:30. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So tomorrow we'll start on time at 6 o'clock. So please, all of you.
Today, because of setting up, it took little